And we are live. Hello, everyone tuning in. I am your host, Nimi81, joined by co-host Kenny, aka KM1997, and also co-host who couldn't make it with us on our cast assessment, but he's here for episode 1, Sir Dragon, aka John, with special guest panel host. Say your username, Drake, because I don't know your username.
WC Plays.
Yeah, you're our guest host. And we will, for episode 1, we are speaking on day 1 of ZBB14, which I am actually very excited about because I got some insider info from inside the house.
You can't talk.
I know I'm not gonna talk about that, but I understand why the nominations came to nominations, and that's what I'll talk about. But before we do get to that, what blogs do you have up, John? We will be talking about first impressions immediately from the first impression blogs. Did any of you read the blogs?
Of them saying how happy they were and stuff.
Yeah, before nominations came out.
No, I didn't.
Well, John, you weren't here for the cast assessment, so did you want to give your quick cast assessment on this cast?
Sure. I think this cast has a lot of potential. The thing that makes this cast really hard to kind of assess for me personally is that a lot of these players I haven't seen before, I haven't played with, I haven't experienced with. There's definitely some familiar faces, but I think what is so exciting about this cast is that there is a lot of potential. There's a lot of room for people to make their name in ZBB history in this season, and that's what I'm excited about most.
Yeah, can I say something about that?
Yeah, if you want to talk about it, Drake, you can.
Like what John said, a lot of these people are unknowns, so you don't really know who they are, and that's kind of an advantage because you can use that to shape the way you play your game and shape the way the public sees you. Because if you have a bad reputation in the public, you could get evicted once you're nominated.
Agreed. We didn't pick a winner's pick on the last episode, and so without spoiling who already went home, Kenny, who is your winner's pick?
I think everyone knows who already went home, but I'll go with Tim Man. I don't think he will actually. Because I think he might become too big of a threat with the public and everything. But thank you for putting up the memory wall because I actually need that. I'll go Studa, XSTQQD, Studa.
John?
I have to go with Margaret. Margaret reminds me of a lot of some of the past winners, and I feel like that she's going to be someone who is going to stand out and shine. I think she's going to have a really rough road to get to the end, but she's going to make it to the end, and she's going to slay.
And she's a real girl, so that like gives her points.
Right? Yeah. Woo! Yes.
And Drake.
I gotta go with Gamer Blitzful. I've seen him play in several games, and he's done really well. And I think if he plays the cards right, he could make it to the end.
Yeah, I don't like nothing against him or anything, but I don't see him winning because he has like a reputation of being a sheep, and he even knows that. Like he's a nice guy and everything, but will he win? I don't see that. I can see him going far, but I don't see him winning.
He's most likely to be fourth. He's most likely to be the person that probably should make it to the end and win, but he's going to get fourth.
Shade.
Problem.
Only Kenny will understand that shade. But
who was that shade towards?
No, because he said that someone who should have made it to the end but got fourth. If you understand. ZBB11.
I don't think he was.
I know, but that's just what immediately came in my head, which was hilarious. My winner's pick would be, for some reason, I just see the guy winning. I see the guy or Arceus. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, Arceus. One of those two I can see as winners pick as winners of ZBB14.
I think RC is like way too unknown to.
It doesn't matter if you're unknown because you're going to be known for the next week or so, or how long this game is.
Plus,
We'll see.
there's an advantage of being unknown, so he could surprise you.
With someone like Remix, you know, he could.
Yeah.
His chances won't be that good.
Okay, so I'm sure that the blogs, whoever posted their blogs, they gave their opinion on what happened on day one, how nominations came nominations. But from my own little research inside the house, a little summary from how things happened. Apparently, Swish came out, guns blazing, and that's not bad on his part. He wanted to play the game, but he didn't play it subtle. And so when you play a game like that really fast, it's day one and you're ready to play the game, immediately you put a target on your back. Now Swish, he can say against this and give his own piece when we give him a chance to talk to the entire house at one point in the game if he makes it there. But that's where the target on his back came in. And the target on, and that's how he got 15 people nominating him, which was a super nom, which is hilarious for a first vote, and you're already getting super noms.
Kind of ridiculous too, but
And that's just like, that speaks that you don't play that hard. Now, our second nomination of day one was Work, and I was speaking actually, and the only reason I actually figured this out is because Work came to talk to me and he was asking me questions, and then I was just putting two and two together to figure out that he was actually a target from my other talks. And I didn't tell him, obviously, because I don't tell people's business when they tell me, but he immediately, someone, won't name names, he already named them in his blogs, but someone was pushing for Work to go up for some reason. I'm guessing because they seen Work as a popularity threat. Do you see Work as a popularity threat?
clearly not. But
I mean, would you have pushed Work to be nominated? Because somebody pushed for him to go up.
I feel like personally, if it was me, I wouldn't have, because I think I could have worked with Work, but like everyone's different. I would not have even, like, the two that went up, I would have actually loved to have played with those two, if we're being honest. But
yeah, agreed. I feel like I would have worked with Work, and like since Work, I believe Work's previous year was Funny Me, which Funny Me was not the best popularity threats.
He's probably like last out of everyone that was there.
I think but for me, I'm actually the exact opposite of y'all. For, I don't know, Work, I feel like he kind of like clashes with my personality, and Work is someone that I would have definitely pushed off early. I think it's a easy, I don't want to say easy, that's mean, but it's a name that you can throw out and get a lot of traction behind it early.
And that is what happened.
It really was easy. I mean, he got 14.
That is definitely what happened. Someone seen him as easy, and he pushed his name. And then Swish picked up onto it. Swish got up onto that name, and so Swish pushed for it. So now we have Swish pushing for Work, and we have Work pushing for Swish. Obviously, for anybody who is smart, you would vote both of them. Instead of trying to go with pick one side, you just put both of them up, because like, what's the waste? Who cares, right? But now, I personally don't like that tactic. I get it, that's the safest route. Just split the vote and be safe. But it's boring, is it not?
It definitely is boring, but in the game,
when two people get that many, you can go, John. You can go.
Oh, I was just saying that it's like, yeah, from a from a entertainment, from a outside perspective looking in, it definitely is kind of quote unquote boring. But the thing is that in the game, that's smart.
Yeah.
It's
It
smart
is.
for
It is smart.
wait. It's smart for some because as we see, Tin Man and Best K they went up today, so like they clearly weren't.
Well, let's say this. Obviously, even everybody voted. Basically, everyone voted together except for one person, and 5 other people had to go up today. And we will get on that tomorrow on who those 5 are. But it's like no one was gonna know that was gonna happen. So it really, and no one was gonna know that everyone was gonna vote the same way. You know what I mean? So you can't really say that it bit them in the butt. And I seen that you commented that on the
I mean,
somewhere.
they won't know that everyone is doing it, but when like a clear majority, like I'm pretty sure they knew that most people were doing that. Probably not everybody, but I'm sure they knew most people were doing that. And like when I play these games, like I don't like that. I will most likely try to find some way I could go against it. So that's just that's not fun. That's just not fun.
All right. So now that we have Swish and Work nominated, did we see their blogs on that? Hold on. Let me go see their blogs.
Yeah.
They're pleased.
Yeah, they're pleased. Immediately, so seeing both of them up, who would you gone for in evicting?
Originally, I evicted Work, but I kind of wish I didn't. But as we can see, it didn't matter. So.
All right. So immediately, let's look at Swish's plea first. First, he uses gifts. So not. Oh gosh, how many gifts did he use? 4.
Plea. That's the wrong plea.
It is?
Yeah, that's for
Oh,
Smith.
sorry. I mean, he got nominated twice. Okay. Oh, he used Nick. That's funny. Just quickly looking at it, this is a short plea, is it not?
Yeah.
I'd rather a short like a short plea that's
But
informing
let's
you.
let's see.
A long plea about just calling people out, being kind of a dick. So
About the train.
Basically, he's saying that nobody said anything to him, so he became paranoid because it's day 1. Why would anyone throw out a name? Blah blah. He's talking about his plea's boring, literally. His plea is boring.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was okay with his plea. I was okay with his plea. It definitely wasn't like flashy or anything. But I mean, what else? What else you got to work with? It's only been maybe 48 hours. You can't. There's not like there's been much game played.
agreed.
But there was game played if 15 people nominated him and 14 people nominated.
I also think
Jack.
when like if you're up against that many people, then there's not I don't think there's much wiggle room for you to really do anything anyway. So I don't I kind of feel bad for both of them because it was just they couldn't do anything to stop.
Going with the middleman ground, so.
And also, it was like Tin Man or someone said that they didn't start playing. They like the first 24 hours before the game officially started, they didn't really do like they were just trying to be friendly with people and stuff, which isn't a bad thing. But also, you have to, you have like the first round is 48 hours. That's how it always is, and that's how it's just gonna always be. Because no one's gonna spend 24 hours trying to get to know you. That's just not realistic.
All right. So, but now let's look at Work's plea. His plea actually was more informative than Swish's. In a quick summary, he blames Andrew for the reason that he was up into it. Now he says that he feels sorry about it, which I'm guessing Andrew told him he's not the reason that he's up. Do you feel Andrew had a hand in Work going up?
I feel like it was kind of their own, like they were the ones going after each other, and everyone's like, okay, I'm just gonna stay in the middle and put them up.
I do see that, but I personally am on Work's side. He did nothing wrong. because he was literally messaging me saying Swish was targeting him. What does he do? And then next thing I hear, like 2 hours later, he tells me, oh, a lot of people are telling me now that I'm getting votes or blah, blah, blah. And so it's he didn't really do anything wrong.
Yeah, true. But I think Andrew is not the right choice. I would have blamed Swish if I was in his position.
Yeah, I agree.
True. So all right. So immediately though, pre-game, everybody said Swish would be first out, and then he's nominated. So why is he not first out?
I mean, because the whole spamming thing didn't help work, and then the way he was acting while he was defending himself, I think he got a bit too defensive, which is fine. Which is fine because people weren't necessarily being nice to him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so yeah,
let's
get to that.
He kind
the drama of
hurt himself.
Yeah, the drama after the nominations, in which he was in a chat. Someone added him to a chat, blah blah, and he posted the comment, something evict Swish please, and then that's it. And then he left the chat or whatever. People took it as him spamming, and then decided to call him out on it on the talk pages and everywhere, and on super chat. And then basically, when you hear the word spam, you're immediately like, oh, he spammed, so he needs to go. Now, I seen the screenshot myself. That wasn't a spam, and I'm actually I took offense. I took offense to the people who were literally standing by their word, saying, "Oh, he spammed," when it wasn't a spam, and they were trying to get into people's head thinking it was a spam. And literally, someone today said, "Oh, did he not spam? I evicted him because he spammed."
Yeah, it's basically the mindset of, oh, we're gonna believe this one person because they just provided this one screenshot, and I believe that screenshot. But like no one else is coming forth with that with another screenshot or another screenshot. I want to see more proof that he's spamming and less on like words like, oh yeah, he totally spammed me.
Right. And so obviously, because he's been accused of being spammed, he created more blogs after blogs after blogs about it. And I can't find it.
Let it go. He should have let it go.
Yeah, I agree. That's the biggest downfall. Is like whenever something like that happens, you just need to let it go. You need to build your strength up, and you can't just keep drawing more negative attention to yourself, because that's just giving more reason for the public to evict you, and even the House. And I just think that, there's been so many seasons of ZBB. People will find any reason. If they want you out, they'll find any reason, whether that's because of spamming, whether that's because of just any reason. They will find a reason to get you out.
To justify their bullshit reasons of evicting you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that is true. They don't like you. They will do whatever they can to push for it. And that's what I feel what the spamming thing was. These people didn't like them, and they try to take advantage of the public and get them out, which is a coward thing to do, especially when 2 people of these were on the last season. And it's like, how would you feel if someone did that to you?
Also, if you're that sensitive, like work is, like not trying to be anything, but he's like 13, so of course he's going to be sensitive. You shouldn't be in a super chat while you're in the game, because it's like everyone gives their opinion, and like it's not always going to be an opinion that favors you, and you might not like it. So you just need to stay out of there.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, I just stay away by talking about ZBB in the public on Skype. I keep it to group talks page, because I feel like one slip on Skype and someone could use that against you.
And I agree.
Exactly.
Jack was very active in the super chat, very active, and so that could have been a downfall for him. And we can see on this blog, there was 57% of the vote that was against him. but he did receive the majority of the House vote. Do you feel if he could have convinced more people on the House to save him, he would still be in the game?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Would he still be in the game?
Because the housemates vote, they count as 3
I know,
percent,
and
right?
Swish got most of the House votes.
Oh, no, but I mean he's Swish got 9, he got 7.
Yeah.
If he got more people to vote Swish, would he be still in?
Possible.
Yeah.
It would
There's
have
a
to
bunch.
be what, like 10-6 or something, or maybe like 11.
You have to get at least 12. You have to at least get 12.
Yeah, I think. And I don't think he would have been able to do that. That's a lot.
Wait, why does these numbers look off to me? How is it 9 and 7? I'm so confused.
9, 7, 16.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just don't know it. I'm sorry.
Do math.
Okay.
But I think it does show that with how low of a percentage of the vote is, it was a very close vote. I mean, 57% is really not. That's really close when you think about it, and just it is going to come down to the fact that probably with all that controversy of the quote unquote spamming, that's probably is what sent him out of the game, unfortunately. And I mean, you can't really change anything because the public is the public, and yeah, people probably should not interfere, but there's always going to be that little aspect of the ZBB game that you can't predict.
That one person that will try to ruin your ZBB game before it even starts.
Yep.
Right. And so now that work is gone, we have 15 people now left in the game. At this point, is anybody in control, or is anybody at the bottom? And who do you feel the sheep are? Let me pull up the cast.
It's hard to even assess any of that.
True, but they all gave their blogs. Every single one of them posted at least a blog, and we're gonna go through some of them soon. But just
if we're gonna
quickly,
call them like sheep based off of just one round, clearly most of them are. But I don't think they should be like knocked for it or anything because it's.
I
the game
agree.
hasn't started yet.
What I'm saying is that from their blogs, you can tell if they're a sheep or not, or they're trying to make themselves look like they pushed that set, but you can tell maybe they didn't.
People can lie, and people can lie in their blogs. Also, whoever did the 10-man best K-Dom set, I think was kind of a poor nom set because there was 2 people that really had no shot at winning, and then they went after a pretty powerful player in Tim. So whoever did that, I would like to support them. Whoever was able to work that magic.
My thought is that, there was probably like initially right after like this eviction or even during this eviction process, there was kind of like maybe a top and a bottom and maybe there were some sheep. But I think that now, I guess without going into full detail with the coaches and everything added, I think it just changes the game into a whole new level because it just changes the dynamics because now people might be considering working with different people than they were expected of just because they might be paired because of their coaches. And so I think it just completely changes the game up a little bit that, there's all these existing relationships from the first 48 hours, but now you add this wrinkle in time, it's going to shake things up.
Yeah.
I don't think
we'll get to the coaches later.
If you were close enough with someone after maybe like day 1, I don't think the coaches aspect will change that really.
I agree.
When we get to the coaches though, we'll see if what further twist with the coaches comes in though, because there's more to come with the coaches.
Can we talk about today's twist? Because I'm really not a fan of today's twist.
We'll talk about today's twist towards the end. I gotta focus on the 15 left in the game though.
Yeah, well,
because there's still things that happen on day 1 that you just gotta fill yourself in, and for some reason, Mix took pleasure to write a very long blog, which has to, in my opinion, say, if he had a lot of opinion to say on something, does that mean that he had control in a little bit of this?
Well,
Because
it depends.
no one just immediately just says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna nominate these two." Someone had to be
Wait,
behind it.
controlling what in the work and Swish
Yes,
mindset?
work and swish.
I mean, based off what you said and based off what other people have said, it was like they were going after each other, so people just decided to split, and that is something that people do. So, like, I don't come up with a plan to split on two people that are going after each other.
Yeah, I don't think that was just such a big move because okay, that's
No.
a move.
Oh wait.
It was a good safe move. It was one of those moves that you make when it's round one, in my opinion.
Yeah, like it may be born to the public, but it's a lot safe in the game because you don't want to go guns blazing day one, as in because you will end up like Swish.
Apparently,
Um,
Swish is someone who creates a lot of chats. I read that somewhere, that like that's something that he does in other games, I guess. So if that's what he did, then
okay,
that's
so
kind of ridiculous.
quickly reading Mix's blog, he says that because of Work's personality pre-game, when someone mentioned his name, it was easy to jump onto it.
It's very fair.
Do you
Yes,
feel pre-game stuff should affect ZBB?
Of course.
I mean it
Yes.
shouldn't have. I don't believe pre-games should affect stuff, but like it kind of like. But this is Whooper, and anything you do will affect your games in the future. This isn't like real Big Brother where you don't know anything about anyone until you get into the house.
True.
I agree. It's like it doesn't even matter whether you think it should or shouldn't. No matter what, it's always going to. Like even if you just look at whenever Danielle and I played in ZBB12, there was always such a dogma on us from past events that happened between both of us. And so no matter what, no matter whoever is playing, there's always going to be, unless if you're completely a new person who's pretty much has not put himself out there much, like Derek in ZBB1, then there's always going to be something that is
Or
attached to you.
or even Arceus this season.
Point.
Didn't he release the blog? I'm pretty sure he did. It was as like his nomination blog. Oh. He's late. Obviously, he says it. And it's just a hello blog. Okay, never mind, Arceus. Do you feel, just quickly on that though, he just released his little introduction blog today, right? Is that a little bit too late? Or, yeah, that's today. Is that a little bit too late?
Didn't he do it after he went up?
It was at 22:37. So
it was after he went up. So I think that's it's kind of late since he went up.
Yeah.
But if he didn't go up, then like I guess it would have been fine. But he did it after he went up, so it comes off a little late.
So then does that mean that we can safe to say that he's not really playing a big part then? If he's, because
No,
I mean,
you can't say. I don't think
well,
you can.
well, I mean, if you're
Trying-
playing the game, you're going to keep the public updated, are you not?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, no.
No, a lot of people that do. Yeah, I think. I don't think they do though. It's just because maybe he's playing that well that he wants to keep it under the radar. You can look at it from a bunch of different angles.
Yeah, he could either just not be interested in the game, he could be just keeping it on the radar, and then he'll pounce, or he could just completely be a floater in the game. You'd never know.
Yeah.
Literally no one is talking about nominations. Damn. Oh, wait, no. Okay.
Well, it's probably I think without getting into about the nominations because I don't want to ruin that yet for you. But like I think that it's the coaches are probably that's still that shockwave is still probably setting in for the game.
All right. Well, moving onward, because these people are literally not giving any info on their blogs, which they need to start doing so.
Name is round one, and 14
I don't
and
care.
15 people voted together.
I don't care.
Someone's been speaking on. Everyone's in the general consensus of what's what. Dude, there's not that much information to give.
I want info. That's all I care about is I want info.
Drama.
What was I going to say? Okay, so now that Jack is at the game, which I did not want to happen. Do you feel the game is all new now? And we're going to start getting into coaches now. Do you feel the game is new? Now that Jack's gone, coaches are here.
It's new because the coaches are there, not because Jack is gone. I don't think Jack had much of an influence. Clearly, he got 14 nomination votes. So, I think the coaches is why it's new.
Better than 15. They'll be trying to throw some shade. You do have to know that once you get votes on you, it's hard to get votes off.
Yeah.
Okay. So, getting onward to the coaches. We knew that this season was ZBB14 coaches. That's what it was labeled as. And so we were left out in the dark as well as the cast on who the 5 coaches would be. Obviously, I hoped I would be a coach, but I'm disappointed. And their coaches here is the first coach, Alice. Yes. Obviously, we all know Alice.
We probably all wanted Alice to be coach because she played so well in All Stars in her season that she had to be in the coach.
Exactly.
I did want her to be a coach, but I don't know really much about her. But from what I've seen, she seems like she can be a good leader, and she seems pretty nice. I know her.
I know her personality. I don't know how she played because I just got introduced to ZBB around All Stars time, so I really didn't pay attention to it. But I know her personality, and so I'm excited to see what she's not a player, she's a coach. So you can't really know what's going to happen.
But she is a sweetheart, and she can talk your way into doing stuff for her.
True. I think at the end of the day, it is a competition with the coaches, and they want their team to win. So, not only I'm guessing because they're in the house chat. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
they have to be.
So, not only do they don't have to only talk to their own team. They can coach whoever they want to coach, but they can also manipulate the other people.
Yeah.
That would make it fun if the coaches interfere with the game and manipulate people.
We won't know that, but
we won't know it, but it will be fun if it happens.
Yeah, and someone may catch on and call it out, and we may know it. We never know.
Yep.
Yeah, this may make people a little bit more aware.
Yeah.
Are you confident in Alice's coaching skills? Does she fit the criteria to be a coach?
I think so.
She's like one of the only out of the 5 coaches. I think she's like my top like confident. Like she's gonna do good as a coach.
So with that, let's get into our second key. Goes to the obvious Jake P97. The
winner of second chances.
Yes, he placed 7th in ZBB9 and came ZBB10 second chances and won. And now he's a coach. That was everybody knew obviously was going to be a coach. How are your opinions on Jake being the coach? I didn't personally think that he was going to be I didn't think he's going to be a coach because he deserves to be a coach. He's going to be a coach because he's Jake. People put him on a high pedestal.
I'll go first because I think Jake is one of the most interesting coaches that we have, because I think he's the one that you don't expect him to be a coach, but I think he has the potential to be a really good coach. He obviously is a really good player of the game. He won a really tough season, in my opinion, and I feel like that he's going to be one of the most interesting coaches to watch because we're seeing him. I honestly don't view him as quote unquote as one of the best coaches. That's not knocking him as a player. He's a really good player. As a coach, this is what's going to be so exciting is to see him coach, and can he pull it off as a coach? It's going to be one of the most interesting storylines of this season, and I can't wait. And I think he will. I think he's going to shock a lot of people.
then other group games other than ZBB, he does really well or he flops. And most of the time, he does really well, either because of his competition skills, his social, his strategical. He may cause a lot of drama, but that's only small because he always seems to do good.
Um, I don't know coaching skills. I feel that Jake is a good person. He's good to give advice to. He's smart, and so if some people are like in a dilemma, he might be like good enough. But do you feel like the coaches can play the game too, or not really playing the game but can play it? If you know what I mean?
Yeah, look at Big Brother 14. Like, look at what happened before. Big Brother 14. They did become players, but look before that, they were all playing. They were all like acting as if they were players in the game. I think that's going to happen very quickly in this game, especially whenever more wrinkles come in. These coaches are going to be playing as much as these players.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only good part I can see in Jake being Jake being your coach would be that Jake can play the game. Now, I mean, that's bad if you say Jake's playing the game for you. That means that you're really not doing anything, and you had to have your coach get you out of a mess. But he could do that.
Speaking of BB14, I do think we'll have like people that will follow their coach, right into the slaughterhouse, which is not. I don't think anyone like. I just think that's what's going to happen with a few of these people.
Yeah.
Well, who followed their coach into the slaughterhouse? I don't remember that. Other than Danielle.
Danielle and
that's
Dan.
Exactly what I'm saying.
That's
Exactly.
the obvious one.
Danielle.
I feel like a lot of these people may like, oh my god, a coach. I can do what my coach says and I'll win the game and have that mindset.
If Jake is your
and a
coach,
lot
I don't
of
know who
them are
said
young.
that.
And a lot of them are young, so I think that's that's going to be the mindset.
Oh yeah.
That's what's going to be the most interesting balance about this game is that it's like, how do you, especially if theoretically the coaches stay coaches all game long, how do you get to the end, convince the public you played the best game as a player without relying too much on your coaches? That's what's going to make this season so interesting, especially if the coaches stay as coaches. It's going to be interesting.
And that's what said.
They need to stay as coaches.
But that's what I said on the cast assessment, where I said that this season the coaches are a little bit more important than the cast itself. The coaches are, because you're going to be like, okay, did you get yourself out of not being nominated for 10th, or was it your coach who got you out of not being nominated for 10th? Or it's like same, like that's going to be the thing. Could you have done this without a coach?
Yeah, if you let your coach do all the talking for you and the public finds out about
you are not doing well.
I don't think that's going to be good for you if the public finds out about it.
It's smart. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having your coach do all your dirty work for you, but you just got to find a way.
Talking. I said do all the talking. I didn't.
That's kind of the same thing, because all you have to do in this game is talk. Let's move on to our third key, who was messaging me to get onward with it. We have Magic.
Oh, Ben.
I didn't even know that he played ZBB. I mean, I think he played it, but I don't know how he played. Which season and where did he place?
It was in a season that I didn't watch because I wasn't on ZBB at the time.
Was he on? I think
he was on 4
he played on
7. 4 and 7.
Okay, so he was he was the one who lost to the kid. He came in second place on ZBB4, and then he came back for All Stars, in which I don't know where he plays on All Stars. He plays 8th on All Stars. So 2nd and 8th, not really good placements. And he came back for ZBB12 also, where he placed 10th.
How are they not good placements? That makes no sense.
Second is a good placement.
2nd is good, 8th and 10th is not. But he's a coach. So
it depends. How did you get 8th? Did you do?
True.
Did you play like Breeze and get single digits, or did you play like Aether and get single digits? That's two different things.
he says he got 10th in ZBB12 because his partner did not nominate.
That is why he got 10th in ZB12.
Was electric,
Oh yeah.
so that would make sense.
Yeah, and I
Yep.
was. Yeah.
Bad partner choice.
And he says that he was unnominated till 8th and was evicted in a double eviction. So he's giving his little stats on why he deserves to be a coach.
Well, that fair enough. Fair enough.
That was your job, name. So
I don't know him. I mean, I know him, but I don't know his status.
He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. He'll be a fun coach. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
yeah, I like watching Magic in ZB12. Was it? Yeah, I like watching him in that season.
Magic, like the thing is about Magic that he can either be your best friend or your worst enemy.
That's all you can have in this game. Coach-wise, if anyone's going to sabotage anyone, do you feel it will be Magic?
Sabotage who?
Like I said, the coaches can play the game too, can they not?
He sabotages. What do you mean, sabotage his players or like manipulate people?
Like sabotage everybody else, manipulate them. Gosh.
I feel like
I not illiterate or something?
I think all of them have those skills.
Yeah, all of them have.
Discipline.
I mostly would do that. Magic and Jake are like the ones who would do that.
Yeah, they're the most ornery of the five.
All right. So, why do you feel he was chosen as a coach? I can understand Alice and I can understand Jake, kind of, but why Magic?
Well, let me just pull up the
His
application.
gameplay is before.
Let's do that. Let's pull up this application. Hold on. I mean, my application was amazing, but
I think his gameplay at ZBB4 is what really like shines as what he did as a player. I mean, the fact that he's played several times, but I think ZBB4 is the season where Magic the player just shined the most and really showed what he is and the potential he can be, and and screwed by a twist, and he got screwed by a partner, and that's kind of some factors that definitely play into the game, but are kind of out of his hand in a way.
Yeah.
From his application,
Magic in ZBB4. Hey.
From his application, he says that he thinks he was the most robbed second placer in ZBB history. I do not agree with that. I'm not saying the kid. I'm not saying the kid.
Don't do that, Name. I knew you were going to say that. Don't do that. Let's go.
He's saying that he's not saying that the kid didn't deserve the win, but the effort that he put into the game was uncomparable. Blah blah. I feel like I'm known in ZBB as being a power player. He's not scared to make moves. And he says that he knows how to play this game. Blah blah blah. Everyone says that. His application's not really that impressive. So it's also.
I think it goes back like what I said. Is that ZBB4 the people who are doing the casting, Trishy, Doodle, and anybody else that we don't know about, the people that are involved behind the scenes, they know what he did in season 4. They know the work. They know the effort. They know his heart for the game. And I agree. I don't know who said it, but someone on the talk page said he is one of the most underrated players to play the game. And I agree. Nobody talks about Magic a lot, but when you look at his gameplay, he's a good player.
Name, you're very rude. Do you know that name?
Do I know that he's a good player? I do know that.
I said, you know, you're very rude. Like,
I'm rude?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, sorry.
And also,
if I'm rude, then you speak up and say I'm rude. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking my opinion.
Well, I don't believe you're the most robbed either, Mimi.
I know. It's a joke. I'm not the most robbed, but I'm.
Well, I wasn't talking about that.
Top
That's what he was saying about Magic, but just everything you're doing right now is kind of rude.
Then I'm sorry. If I'm being rude to anybody, please let me know and I'll be nicer. I'll put a nice face on.
Well, that's why we have 4 opinions on here.
Honestly, there's going to be the person that I say.
Coach.
Shush. I say the things that no one else wants to say, and I'm sorry if that's rude or not. Okay, the 4th key is Niklaus, or another second placer. And his application literally was right under. He came in second on ZBB third, seventh,
Second,
and
the seventh place.
Yeah,
Seventh
and
place.
who you want to speak?
What's the seventh place curse? I'm not aware of that.
Yes.
Seventh place Curse Club.
He came seventh in All Stars, which I'm guessing that was the double eviction one, and he tied apparently for first because of ZBB12 being canceled. So I don't even remember if I was rooting for him in ZBB12, but I think he fits as a coach.
Yes. Him and Alice are my top two picks. These are the two people that I think are the two best coaches. Just I like look at them. They're like they are coaches. They got a good mentality for it. They are going to be coaches.
Yeah. I haven't really necessarily watched his gameplay all that much in All Stars, but I know how he plays, and I know he plays really well. And I think that gameplay wise, he could be a force to be reckoned with as a coach.
What type of force though? Like what? Like I know that coaches can do stuff, but like what can personally?
And on how he fits into this as a coach, because I don't necessarily know what his gameplay is, since he's kind of the person who changes it every time he goes into a game.
Agreed.
Which is one of the best type of players to be.
Yeah.
And let's move to our final coach, the kid who won ZBB4, the season that Magic claims to be robbed from. Some people, I did see that they're not happy that he was casted or something. I thought John is an amazing player, but I mean, I've only seen him around like once, play the game with him.
I played with him once in a choices game, which it's choices, but still. And like, I don't know, he has his own way of going about things. I don't necessarily think he was coach material, but I haven't seen his ZBB season, so I can't say if he's coach material or not.
Well, I remember I read his application. I liked it. He said that he won his season the way that he said he would win it. Apparently, because he was a threat and he only managed to go up like twice. Hold on.
He's a good guy. He's a good player, and I think that this is another one of those ones where it's like it makes sense when you saw his name. You're like, oh yeah, he should be a coach. And I think it's gonna be very interesting to see because he only played in ZBB4, correct?
Yes.
So that's what's interesting. I think that's really interesting storyline for him is that it has been a good plenty of time since he's been in the game. So it's gonna be interesting to see: is there some dust on the bookshelf, or is he ready to go in there and kick butt?
Is there something about ZBB4 though? Because there's out of 5 of these coaches, there are 3 people from ZBB4: Alice, Magic, and the kid.
It was a good season.
And then Niklas was from ZBB3, and then we have Jake from ZBB9 and 10, the newer season. So it's like, is that like the ancient seasons are better, and so they're going to get casted as coaches?
I don't feel like the ancient seasons were better. I just feel like that out of all the applicants, I think that.
Come on, Croatia's not her.
Wow, ancient seasons. You guys are making me feel old now. Dang. I know ZBB2 was a while ago, but not ancient. Gosh.
I haven't even been to ZBB season.
Oh my. Oh.
Dragon, yes, weren't you in wait.
I was in ZBB2.
You were in 2 and 12.
Yep. Yeah, but don't call me ancient. I'm not that old.
I get like a Dan Gieseling vibe from the kid, and I wasn't a fan of Dan in BB14, but I think he played like a spectacular game. So I hope we can see something like that.
Oh, I'm all for John's funeral, please. Oh my gosh, yes.
John. Yes, but like I was honestly, out of all the coaches that didn't make it, I was shocked that JJ, the person who's made it to the end without being nominated, did not become a coach.
I thought it was pretty cut and dry that JJ was not going to be a coach. But
Yeah, I feel like if you also when you take into effect of how these people who applied, how they've played, and then you take into effect
Their drama
for
too.
like better word, their conduct on the site, that plays a huge factor, and a lot of people don't realize that is that whenever there's these games that are hosted by the site themselves, they take a very good care into who they pick to play these games, and in a way, you gotta behave to play these games. You know what I mean? It's their site.
Fair enough, because even team
well,
host
JJ doesn't misbehave, but I just think you can be as I don't think a good
JJ
player
is
makes you.
extra.
I don't think a good player will make you a good coach, and I don't even think that it was that good of a player. I just think he deserved to win because he went unnominated.
yeah,
Point.
but like I think he played well, but like you said, the way he acts on Zwooper, I mean, he doesn't act as bad as some of the other applicants, but like even T-Mod said, if you don't make it don't make it, there's a possible chance that the way you act on the talks page could affect it.
Yeah.
I
Like he
think
might
he.
not be as
Yeah,
there's
Jake.
definitely a lot of dramatic, over the top like knuckleheads on the talks page, and like I'm not saying like JJ's a bad person or anything. He likes to stir the cauldron a little bit every once in a while, and that's
I
something like
don't think JJ.
whenever you're only picking five coaches, and when you're thinking about like, oh, am I going to pick this coach or am I going to pick JJ, then it's I could see JJ being the sixth person on the list.
I don't think JJ does anything on the top. Whatever JJ gets into is what he does in a Zupa chat. Because I don't think he does really anything on the talks page. It's the way he acts in Zupa
Literally,
chat that might
Just like
annoy
six
people.
fun.
who said that they said that the kid is was like, damn, this gift just popped in my head
I said
when
that.
someone said that.
Alice is Brittany. Yes, yes, life, yeah, life.
Okay, so there we have it. You have our five coaches: the kid, Niklaus, Magic, Jake P97, and Alice. Do you feel it's a good set of five?
It is a good
Yes.
set of five. It is predictable, but like Doodle posted a blog earlier saying like if you have a problem and they're predictable, there's a reason they were predictable because they played well.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get. So now that we know our coaches, they went on to be picking who their teams are. Let's just quickly go into that before we get into what happened, and then we'll talk quickly about nominations, and then we'll pick it up tomorrow. Apparently, they all knew last night that they were coaches, which is what hilariously Jake and Alice, they were all up in the Super chat conversating like nothing was happening.
Another
Jake, apparently it was a competition. I'm guessing some quick competition to pick who first. And do you feel like there's like any shade from the reason of why Jake picked himself to go first, and then followed by this order?
I feel like
No.
going first has an advantage because you have the whole pool of people.
What shade could have
I don't
come from
know.
him picking first
Not
thing? That makes
shade.
no sense.
Not shade, but it's like, what was the point for this order? Do you feel there's a point for it, or it was just random?
First.
Well, let me
Hmm?
check.
No, he picked the order for who.
Like the order of coaches is what Neem's trying to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know he picked that.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
picked the order of how everyone picks.
He went the kid, then Magic, then Alice, then Niklaus.
I'm surprised he let the kid go second, but
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, cause you guys know him better, with there like be like something into that. But let's see. Jake picked Congo first.
I think that's a good choice first. I've seen Congo play and he's
Yeah.
played amazingly in other games.
Ironically, the kid picked the guy.
I just laugh at that.
When I seen that was hilarious. Magic picked Matthew.
Which Matthew has some swooper support, so I could see why.
Alice picked Remix.
I don't.
I think that's a compatibility mix, like a pre-existing relationship. That's a good pick.
And
Yeah.
Nick Klaus chose Tin Man.
Another good
Which-
pick first.
Yeah, they have free game relationship.
Great. That's just great, just in general. Like even like not even looking at friendship level. That's a good solid pick.
Yeah,
Nick
good.
Klaus secondly picked
Wait,
Studa. Oh, wait.
What did you just say? Like I kind of spaced, but what you talking about the picks? I actually didn't want to talk about that.
We're just going one by one on who picked who.
Can we start over? And I'll just give mine until I'm all caught up because I kind of spaced out.
All right. Jake picked Congo Wongo.
I think Jake picked them because of I Love Money 4, and I think the games that Congo plays, the hosts are usually fans of him and the way that he plays.
The kid picked the guy.
I think the guy's coming off as. I think he has some support. Do what I have picked him first? Probably not, but I think
Magic chose Matthew,
he has public support, and
and Alex chose Remix.
do not get that one at all. But yeah, whatever.
I kind of sort of get it because like if we're talking about pre-existing relationships and seeing like how Alice is picking her team, she might be picking a team that of people that like aren't really liked or well known and turn them into likable people.
I think Remix is very well liked by the super public.
I think it's like a mix.
Yeah, it's a mix for Remix.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's probably more accurate.
Nick Klaus chose Tin Man.
I'm surprised he was picked 5th instead of 1st, but
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Tin Man won the cage, so that's also a notch under Tin Man's belt. Like he can play a public game.
Exactly, and I think everyone knows how good of a strategic player he is.
Yeah. Nick Klaus started out the second round by choosing Studa.
A fan of that one. I like Studa.
Yeah, I like Studa. I think it's Studa. Yeah.
Alice chose. Oh, sorry.
You can go.
Alice chose Andrew,
Which is also a good pick.
It's a good pick, but it's also a gamble at the same time.
Yeah,
I think it's a
I
good
agree.
pick.
Yeah, I do think it's a gamble.
I think it only works with Alice though. I think Alice and Andrew's the only two. I feel like Alice is the only coach that could really work with Andrew, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's just a good chemistry.
Yeah, I think she could keep like a level head while working with him, while the others may blow up at him, like because he's not easy to work with.
Alex taking the gambles. Remix is a gamble. Andrew's a gamble.
Wait. So get to the next one. Magic chose Gamer.
I think it's a good fit because I think Gamer has probably like a really good social game, and I think Magic would probably like help him make the moves necessary for him, which he probably wouldn't be able to do on his own because he's more social and he doesn't believe in like backstabbing people or stuff. But sometimes you have to do that to get yourself further, and Magic could help him with that.
Yeah.
I've been informed that Gamer, out of everybody in the cast, is very silent in the main chat, and then that's like I know you don't really have to talk, but that's something that is with Gamer, in which he's very quiet.
He's very quiet, very social in PMs.
Yeah, but that's not going to be good. Like, you're not talking in the main chat, but you're talking up to everybody in private. That doesn't look good on you.
But how much game talk actually happens in the game in the main chat though?
Exactly.
At least
it's just
in my season, like we talked about sheep and Town of Salem, like the main chat wasn't much game was being talked. I only like maybe like once or twice when like big things happen, but most of the talk was done in alliance chats.
Yeah, the only thing that happens in main chat is like pointless conversations and pointless arguments and whatnot. So.
Yeah, like petty arguments that they could use for like if they went to do ZBB episodes, they just put those petty arguments in because they're entertainment value.
You need to stay out of those anyway. So.
Exactly.
The kid picked TJ doggy style.
I think this is good for I feel like this is great for TJ. I feel like the kid is going to be a really good mentor figure. And I think this is one of the pairings that really helps the player, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like
And yeah,
so
sorry.
on a game because we've seen him in multiple games and he's been having interesting game styles that don't work. And I think this is like his best way. This coach would definitely help him with his game.
I'm not. I'm kind of mixed feelings on this one because Jay at times can play well, but also at times he can kind of, if he's doing the whole daddy thing of being a creeper
Yeah.
again, that's just not
I think
gonna
this
help in his
is
favor.
That's literally what I know him for. He's just keep repeating that word.
Like he should
Um,
for the daddy thing when he plays ZBB because that's not gonna work for us.
he did that in our season, like over and over again. Jake P chose Margaret.
Yes,
A good,
yes.
good
I can't
choice.
believe she went so late. I can maybe see why, but I am really shocked that she went so late. But I'm glad that of all people, Jake got her. I just feel like that is like chemistry and just like yes, yes, yes. I'm screaming.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice for Jake and Margaret as well because she isn't really well known, but she's also a good choice because yeah.
All right.
I think he could help like put Margaret more out there, which is I think something she might need help with. So I do like Margaret, and I think it's a good fit. Sadly,
All right. So that post ended and only just revealing 10 of the 15 people being chosen, while ZBB brother said that stay tuned for the next one to figure out the remaining of the team, whatever. Did you like have any suspicions on why they just didn't show the full teams in that one blog?
Yeah.
No.
probably
That-
ran out of room. It's not
right there.
too much to go into.
I even called it right before they put up the blog saying, okay, the people who are last picked are going to be the ones nominated.
And just quickly before we ended, was just going into that, and that is what happened as a twist to apparently get the coaches to coach their last team members to survive the block, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The last people that they chose will be the ones nominated. So let's get to that. Jake P chose Harley.
Which I'm shocked that Harley wasn't picked earlier.
Are you really?
No, I'm
think,
not.
I'm not
really
shocked at.
on
I
the
think
coach,
he was picked. Perfect spot last round.
I agree.
I feel like see, my opinion here is that I feel like that if you really wanted to take risks, I would have picked Harley because Harley, you either love her or you hate her.
But I feel like Harley has Harley is probably one of the biggest risks. But the thing is that if Harley, the risk is more leaning towards getting out earlier than doing better in the game. Like if you look at some of those other people's that we called risk and gambles, like some of Alice's picks, those are definitely risks, but they're leaning more towards that they're going to go farther in the game. I feel like Harley Quinn's going to be one of those ones that unfortunately goes out earlier than they should.
I think the earlier risk were like much high reward. It was high risk, high reward with like Andrew and even Remix. Don't feel the same about this one.
I agree.
I wouldn't be high reward, but it really depends on how Harley is playing and how the public is seeing her.
Well,
Nope.
because Harley was chose last, we do know that tomorrow she is nominated, and tomorrow there's a good chance that Harley goes. Do you feel like Harley being nominated?
What do you mean? Like, how do we feel about it?
Facing like we're gonna get to all. I'll ask that later. The kid chose mix. I'll ask that later. Sorry.
I'm like really shocked Mix went this late. I think he's not as well known though, and that's probably why. But I think Mix is a very good player, and I think he really should have been picked last round.
Mix is a good underrated player, but he's not really well known, and it's probably why he did get picked so last. But I think it's gonna be okay for Mix.
Mix is a good player though, so I don't know. Just because you don't know him don't mean anything in my opinion.
I think he's the steal. I think he can be the steal of this whole little draft thing.
Magic chose Arceus.
Which I understand why he was picked so late because he's so unknown.
Yeah.
He is, that's for sure. Alice. only had 2 choices left, and she
Best
chose
K and
best.
Swish.
And she chose
Manual.
best. Yeah, manual.
Which I feel like I feel like Emmanuel should have got picked earlier, but I do see why he was picked so late.
Yeah. It is the fact that he has such a huge target on his back. He's probably going to be one of those ones that get nominated over and over again, and maybe unfortunately screwed by a twist. And so it's like, do you really want to put all? Do you want to? You're only getting 3 picks. Do you really want to use 33% of your chance of winning this game, especially if your coach is winning the game by having a player win, in someone who is going to have a really hard time getting to the end?
Yeah, Swish will always be a target, and like even I've seen people make blogs about Swish saying like, oh, if he's nominated again, I'm going to vote to evict him.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't
Well,
think any one of the surviving nominees was gonna be a target this round.
They weren't.
Yeah.
Let's get to that, because that is why I feel like this twist came unfairly. Meat Klaus didn't really pick him, but he was by default picked Swish, because basically work and Swish were combined, and so the whoever picks him gets the remaining one. Obviously, no one was going to pick those 2, and I feel like with this twist being known, because Super Doodle knew about this twist, that was kind of unfair to Swish.
I don't know if I would call it unfair.
No, I know, because people, you know how people are.
It's
Because,
unfair
like,
it's unfair to everyone that was picked last round. I don't like the twist that they nominated at all. I think it's like they're like the only one that deserves to be up is Best K, because he's the one that went up. Like, I'm not a fan of Harley Quinn, obviously, but I think it's kind of unfair of how he got nominated, because like they don't really control them being picked last.
Well, yeah. As we move towards the end of the game, of the song, sorry, game. Gosh, at the end of this show, we have our now 5 nominated people: Arceus, Harley Quinn, Mix, Swish, and I'm missing someone. Best K and Best K. Like you said, this round, Best K and Tim were gonna be the ones nominated, and I know further about that when we talk tomorrow about the other sets, which they're not gonna reveal, but there's 4 people in danger. But as of right now, these 5 nominees, your opinions?
I feel like when it comes to Swish, I feel like he's been unnommed a little unfairly, and I believe that people are evicting him because he got nominated again, but he wasn't.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what I'm saying.
I think Switch is going to survive. I think that there's a bigger it looks worse. There's someone else who looks worse that's nominated right now, and it's gonna. I think that person's gonna be evicted.
And I agree.
Not Swish.
I would be shocked if Swish survives this round, if I'm being honest. Like, I didn't evict him, but I would be very surprised. And speaking of the nominees, I'm not a fan of them being nominated this way. It's kind of unfair to them.
I mean, even
except Best K, because he was going up anyway.
But like, this is not a joke. This is their game, and it's kind of unfair that the coaches are forced. It's like, I see how they were trying to get the coaches more involved, trying to get their players to be safe. But I also feel like that this was unfair to the players, since they had no control of who the coaches would pick.
And also, it could kind of like alienate some of these people from their coaches, because, like, you're the reason I went up on the block,
and you're the reason I'm probably going home.
But unless, then you can also flip it. Where, like, okay, you got me in this pickle. Help me get out of this pickle.
That's fair.
Well, with these 5, you can. Wait, what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. With this 5, you can tell, like, I don't know who's talking, because you both sound like John and Drake, but one of you said something about how it looks like it's between Swish or Best K, right?
Yeah.
Because one, Swish, because back-to-back nominated, and Best K because he was going to go up anyway. But then where does that leave Arceus, Harley Quinn, and Mix? Because like I did say, Arceus was a little bit too late with his vlogs and saying
I
hi,
think
whatever.
I think Arceus is gonna get fined. I mean, yeah, he definitely played his card a little late, but I think that it's not gonna hurt him because I feel like that there's two other people that are in the public are in the targets of the public right now,
I
and
think
that's the same
ours
with Harley
is
Quinn
this.
and Mick.
I
Person,
think
I feel like person, but we'll get to that drama tomorrow.
I
All
think
right.
Arceus is the most safe of them. Like Arceus and Mix, I think are in the best shape.
Yeah, I
But
feel like
but you
RCS.
never know since these votes do split in so many different ways. So we will see.
Yeah,
It's ZBB. You never know what to expect.
exactly.
Right. Okay. And so that was it was actually a very eventful day one, which means, and which it's like, it wasn't a bad day one. It wasn't a bad first eviction. And so I'm actually very excited for this season. Do you think like day one was good?
Yeah, it was boring.
It
Day two
wasn't.
was better. Day two was better, and I agree with like Petey when he said it should have been face to face because I think that would have really been fun.
Yeah, the
But then
face
you're
to
also, but if you're doing the face to face, that's almost like, all right, you're already like dumping. I mean, I get it. It's EVP. You're supposed to be tortured. You're supposed to go through hell. There's a medical warning on this stinking game. But like at the same point, like you want to stretch these players thin, but you don't want to like completely break them where everybody is quitting. Where you get another thing like ZBB12, where people are leaking people's addresses, where people are just going bat crazy. Like you want to push these guys to the limit, but you don't want to drive them to mental insanity.
Hmm. All right. So now we're coming towards the end, and so I'm just gonna re-ask this and see if you still keep it. Your winner's pick. Do you still stand by each of your winner's pick from the start of the show?
Sticking with Studa, yes.
at the start of ZBB, my pick was Gamer, but now like coming into day two and stuff, I don't have enough information, but I believe I want to go with Congo or Tim.
Drake?
That was Drake.
Oh, sorry. John?
I'm gonna I'm gonna stick with Margaret. I think Margaret is probably one of the biggest underdogs. I think she has the best story. I think she has a great coach, and I am so excited. I try not really to put out my opinion too much, but I really do think Margaret has a great shot, and she's my pick to win.
Yeah, and I drop out of RCS when I'm going. I just stick on the guy. I feel that the guy has a chance with the kid.
I think the guy's gonna do well. I really like his vlog.
All right, so thank you for those who tuned in and watched. It just kind of did go a little bit overboard, but I enjoyed it, and we will be back probably tomorrow with the next day two, and hopefully day three. It's day three tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But until then, thank you for tuning in. I'm very excited for the rest of the season. Work's gone. 14 more to go. And we'll
15.
see what happens. What?
What?
There's 16 of them. There's 14 more to go.
Oh, and then one winner. Okay, I get it.
Math. We cannot do math today.
Welcome to the ZBB off the blog where we can't do math.
Yes, it's on the block, not off the block.
I can't pay attention to words.
Okay, well, thank you, guys, for paneling and commenting. And sorry if I was rude because I got told by Father Kenny that I was being rude. So I apologize if I said anything rude, and we will pick up on tomorrow. See you then, and good night.